Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss. We are the Group 2 reporters. This afternoon, we discuss the new lessons about the informational literacy and the environmental literacy. But before anything else, let me first introduce my co-reporters. We have Miss Catherine Zapanta, Miss Jamaica Loron, Miss Hannah Leviado, Miss Angela Amante, and truly yours, Cherry Padol. Now, I will give the floor to Miss
Angela Amante.
Good day, everyone. So this is Hannah Asiavado, and my report is all about developing search queries. So do you have any ideas how to develop your search queries, or how to type those phrases or keywords on Google? So first, let's define what a search query is. A search query is a phrase or keyword combination users enter in search engines to find things of interest. So what are these search engines? For example, is what we are using every day, or whenever we find information, we use Google. So Google is one of search engines. Alright, so a search query, so these are combination of phrases or keywords, or it can be sentences. Now, let's have the types of search queries. So we have three. First, informational search queries, navigational search queries, and transactional search queries. So what are these types of search queries? So let's find out, guys. Next, first, we have informational search queries. So it refers to the searches where the users are looking for information from the word informational. So you can be a student who find answers for assignments or information about your assignments, meanings of words. Alright? So people who does this kind of search query, they're not usually looking for anything other than answers to the questions or guides on how to do something. So we have example, like if you type in Google how to bake a bread. So, okay, it will lead you to information on how to a step-by-step procedure, or information on how to bake a bread. Alright, going forward, we have number 2, navigational search queries from the word navigation. So people commonly perform navigational searches. They're usually looking or finding a particular web page related to specific brand or product. Okay, this could be a website, a social media account, or a blog post related to a particular brand or product. Like for example, we're looking for a LinkedIn account. So we can use the search query. We could grow, hack, scale LinkedIn to find it. So like whenever you are looking for a blog post, or like a particular blog that you're like want to read, or like a website that you will use, educational websites or different kinds of websites that we can see. So navigational search, where it will lead us to particular websites or accounts or blogs, like what the example says here, or a brand or product, just like cosmetics. If we're looking for Kylie Cosmetics, it will lead you to their website. Alright, so next we have transactional search queries from the word transaction. So these searches or users are looking to perform a transaction. Okay, it is in the intention to purchase or to make a purchase. So keywords for this search queries includes order, buy, or purchase. So like for example, a user wants to buy a new iPhone. Or he or she can search in the search engine, like order new iPhone. Alright. And the search engine will bring up a list of the websites where they can purchase a new iPhone. We can buy a new iPhone, anything that you want to buy or purchase. Okay. Next we have, okay. Alright, before we go back, so we have 3. Let's recall. Number 1, informational search query. Number 2, navigational search queries. And number 3, transactional search queries. Now going forward, so these are the steps in developing search queries. First, Choose search terms. Concepts can be expressed in different ways, right, guys? So, example here is self-esteem. So, it can be referred to as self-worth. Okay, your aim here is to consider each of your concepts and come up with a list of different ways they could be expressed. So it's not if you want to have like other relevant words or relevant keywords that would help your that will help you find the exact information that you're looking for. You can search for other terms, right? Okay, now second, you search for keywords, right? So a keyword search usually looks for research terms in the title and an abstract for reference. You may wish to search in the title fields only if you want a small number of specific results. So you want specific results, you can add like one keyword for that. Alright, so going forward, we have searched for the exact phrase. From keyword to exact phrase. Alright? So you want to appear next to each other in an exact phrase, use quotation marks, like for example, self-esteem. Okay, we use quotation mark to indicate that that's the exact phrase we're looking for in the search engines. Number 4, truncation of wildcard searches. Okay. You can use truncated and wildcard searches to find variations of your search term. So truncation is useful for finding singular and plural forms of words and variant endings. Okay, when we see singular and plural forms of words, we can add s or es on our information or like on the word that we type in the search engines. Okay, and we have or like mostly use asterisk as their truncation symbol. Alright. Next we have wildcards. So wildcards are useful for finding British and American spellings. Like for example here, behaviors. What have we noticed in the word behavior? So you have quotation marks, but a question mark on the following or the letter before R. So the middle will find both behavior, which is a British spelling, and behavior in American spelling. That's it. So going forward, we have number 5. Okay, sorry for that. We have number 5. Use adjacency is searching for more accurate results. Okay, you can specify for more accurate. So 2 words that appear together in your search strategy. So this can make your results more relevant words. Closer words or the 2 closer words that repeat each other. Okay, the closer relationship is between them. So whenever you want to search physician, you can also search patient. So the relationship between the 2 words, it will help you find the information that you're looking for. Number 6 we have, okay, next we have use of Boolean logic to combine search terms. Okay, so we have Boolean operators that allows you to try different combinations of search term. So Boolean operators are, we have and or a not, and each Boolean operators functions in different ways. First, or these are used to find articles that mention either of the topics you search for, either of the words you search for. And these are used to find articles that mention both of the search topics. And, alright, we can say self-esteem and perseverance. So we'll go to articles that only mentions self-esteem and perseverance. Next we have not. So it excludes a search term or a concept. It should be used with caution as you may inadvertently exclude irrelevant references. So caution. Okay, pay attention, read the information. Okay, here we have citation searching. So from the word citation, so like we search, this is a method of finding articles that have been cited by other publications. So we're using citation searching, it will lead to finding out whether articles have been cited by other authors. So this these articles have been used by other authors or to find more recent papers on the same or similar subject or related information. Now discover how a known idea or innovation has been confirmed, applied, improved, extended, or corrected. Okay, was the idea or was the articles have been confirmed or have been applied or innovated or revised or modified over the years? How has been article been updated right now? These are citation searching. So when we develop search queries, you can also use a citation if you want to find related articles for your research or studies. Next, let's talk about a citation. So what is a citation? Have you tried writing a citation? What really is a citation? Alright, so through, we've been asked like all of these. So as a student, have we been aware of what are the citation styles are? What is a citation? So I think going back our junior high school days, we have been taught what is citation and its importance in our lives. Okay, so what is a citation? So this is a way of giving credit to individuals for their creative and intellectual works that you utilize to support your research. It can also be used to locate particular sources and combat plagiarism. So the keywords here, giving credit to the original author or to the author and to combat plagiarism. Right. So citation is a way for us to give credit to the original source and to combat plagiarism. So plagiarism is illegal, stealing one's information without giving credits. Alright, moving forward. So we have different citation styles. So what is a citation style? So a citation style dictates the information, how the information is ordered, punctuated, and other formatting. So we will know what kind of citation is it or it is by just looking on the format of the citation. So we have four basic or common citation styles. First, APA, meaning American Psychological Association. This is used by education, psychology, and sciences. Number two, we have MLA, Modern Language Association style. This is used by the humanities, Chicago to Arabian style, or it is generally used by business, history, and the fine arts. So we have number four, IEE style. So it's Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers. It's a professional organization supporting many branches of engineering, computer science, and information technology. So we can observe here, right, guys, that in different fields of study, they have different style of citation. Alright, moving forward. So we have main elements in a citation. So what should we see in a citation? So across MLA, APA, Chicago to Raven style, and IEEE. So what important to note is that the author, the title, the year of publication, and the name of publisher is present in each citation styles, right? So a page number is also included, like in in-text citations, to highlight the specific passage cited. Alright, remember the author, the title, the year of publication, and the name of the publisher. Alright, going forward. So we have APA format and in-text citations. So they can follow a direct quote or paraphrased information. So like for direct quotes, the in-text citation should immediately follow. Alright, so like if you are citing a book, the in-text citation will usually include the author's surname, the year of publication, and the relevant page number or numbers enclosed by parentheses. Okay, let's just like see this structure here. Quote or paraphrased. Now, parenthesis, author's name, comma, year of publication, comma, page number, and parenthesis again. So like for example, this quote here, all we have to do is what to do with time that is given us. Okay, quote, said Gandalf. Now we have parenthesis, Tolkien, comma, 1954, comma, page 20. So we can see Tolkien author's surname, the year of publication is 1954, and the page number is page 20. That is APA format in text citations. In text means inside. Alright, in text. Okay, now let's move on to the next style. We have MLA formatting. So, alright, MLA features like a brief parenthetical citations. It is key to an alphabetical list of works cited that appears at the end of the work. Okay, so in this commonly used format in in-text citations MLA, they don't usually include a publication date, and they typically use the author's last name or the first item included in the full citation, if not the author's name. Yeah, for example, like all we have to do is what to do with time that is given us. So it's the same example as the APA format. But here, let us see the difference in MLA format. So, like said, Gandalf, the parenthesis, Tolkien, 20, parenthesis again. So see the difference between APA format. So we only have author's name here and a page number. Okay. Next we have, alright, the third one, the Chicago to Raven style. So this is like published by Chicago University Press since 1906. So the citation style incorporates rules of grammar and punctuation common in American English, or so they emphasize common in American English only. Alright. Now, alright, so the typically Chicago style presents two basic documentation systems. So they have their own documentation system, which is first, notes and bibliography style. Next, the author date style. Let's find out what are these documentation systems. Alright, so the notes and bibliography style, so they are preferred by many in the humanities, including those in literature, history, and the arts. So this style presents in bibliographic information. So we have material type here is a book in print. So the note style here, okay, 1, Michael Pollan, The Omnivore's Dilemma. Okay, Colin, A Natural History of 4 Meals. New York, Penguin, 2006. Parenthesis, comma, 99 to 100. So 99 to 100 is a page. Okay. Next, we have duplicate note, Pollan, Omnivore's Dilemma. Okay, and number 3. Okay, so we have the author and the title. Yes. Next, bibliography style. So look at the difference for this. Omnivore's Dilemma, Natural History of 4 Meals. New York, Penguin, 2006. Alright. So this is in bibliography style. The upper part is a note style. See the difference. Okay. Next, we have the author date style. We have notes and bibliography. Next, author date. The word author and the date. Okay, this has been long used by those in physical, natural, and social sciences. So in this system, sources are briefly cited in the text or in text, and it is usually in parentheses and by author's last name and date of publication. Okay, like here, a book, an in-text citation would be Pollan. Alright, the author's last name and the date of publication is 2006. We have like page also 99 to 100. So in bibliography style, so it is like a longer style. Alright, so Owen Michael 2006. Alright, the name of alright of the author here. So an article in print journal Weinstein 2009, 440. So in bibliography style, so it's different format here. So in index, it is the shorter one. Bibliography is the longer one. Next and last style, we have IEEE style. So this includes in-text citations. Like if we can see whenever we like search informations like Wikipedia, you're a fan of Wikipedia. If you can see like those brackets, like mostly they can see in blue. We have 1, 2, like in numbers. Alright, these are example an IE style. So the reference list is organized numerically, not alphabetically. So they involve numbers. Okay, that is why it is used in the fields of like technology and sciences. Or this is not. They are not necessary to mention the author's names, pages used, or date of publication in the index citation. And the source, okay, they refer the source into like a square bracket, like for example 1 square bracket 1, so that will correspond to the full citation in your reference list. Okay, now if you have more than one, so what will you do? So you can have like a punctuation or a comma if you have more than one, so like 1 comma, like square parenthesis comma 1, 3, 5, or 1 to 5. We have comma or dash. So those are all of my report, so which is all about developing search queries and the citation and components of citation. So as future educators, it is really important that we know, that we organize and the information that we want to know, or like we want to search and Google, right? So it makes our work more like easier and not so time consuming. And it is also important as future educators to know how would we properly cite sources, so to avoid plagiarism. Okay, now I will give you to the next reporter. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, so once again, good afternoon to all of us, especially to you, Miss. So by the way, I am Cherry Badol, the third reporter. So for the continuations, I will discuss the remaining topic of informational literacy. Evaluating sources of information is to analyze information from a critical perspective. Analyze information, decide where you can find the information you need, or gather the information from the sources that you identified. Other meaning of evaluating sources is to recognize or recognizing whether the information you read or any information you research in different kind of resources is credible and reliable. Next, why it is important to evaluate thoroughly the source of information. So evaluating information is important because it encourages you to think critically about the reliability, validity, accuracy, authority, timeliness, point of view, or bias of information sources. So when we say reliability, it means accurate or able to be trusted. Next, when we say validity, it means a source of information is offering correct information that can be trusted. Next, we have the accuracy. It means the correctness, truthfulness, and overall excellence and quality of the information. Next, we have the authority. So when we see authority, it means the author or who is established or who is in charge of the site who wrote the information correct. Next, we have the timeliness. When we say timeliness, it talks about the time, how up-to-date information is. Lastly is the point of view or bias of information sources. So there are two types of resources. So the library sources and the internet sources. So when we see the library sources are those materials both print and non-print included the books, magazines, newspapers, and others. When we say internet sources are those resources from online including documents and non-documents, including the web pages, web documents, the entire website, the articles and ebooks, and there are others example about the internet sources. So, based on my research, I found that there are 5 leaders that can be used as a technique to evaluate and determine the credibility and reliability of a source. So, this is the CRAAP test. So, when we see CRAAP means currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and the last is purpose. So, in currency, so it means the timeliness of the information. So, there are some questions that guides you if that information is current or updated. So, first, when was the information published or posted? So, kanusa man siya post or gi-publish kana nga information. Second, has the information been revised or updated? Kana nga information is updated ba or kanang out of date ra na siya. Third, is the information current or out of date for your topic? Related pa ba na sa imong topic? So fourth, are the link functional or broken? Last, when was the page created? If it talks about page, dapat imo sad nang kanang tan-awon kung di na ba kayo na siya kayo sig karaan na kayo na siya, no? So next, how to determine if that information is relevant, especially from the internet. So when we say relevance, it is the importance of the information. So here are the some questions to help you to know that information is relevant. So first, does the information relate to your topic or answer your question? Kanang mag-research ka, like for example, naamoy mga assignment, especially student, naay mga assignment, and then your teacher assign you to research some topic, no? And then kanang you use the internet to research that topic. So dapat imo na siyang tan-awon if relevance pa ba na siya, especially sa kanang so dapat imuha siya tan-awon if nakarelate pa ba na sa imuhang topic, no? So next, who is the intended audience? So kani siya who is the intended audience kay naman goy uban nga na ay gipost na information that is only for the kids, only for the, like for example sa kanang about lang sa school, no? About, so na uban nga ang information is intended only for elementary nga na lisod pud kung ikaw college na ka nya magwa ka to information imo ibutang sa imong research, dili na siya makuan, dili na siya dili na siya ma-connect or ma-relate. So next, consider your audience and compare with a variety of sources. Last, the originating source. So originating, which is ang original nga kuan mo ni siyang author, publisher, sponsor of the information. So next, so if you are using a book, so does it have a table of content, preface and introduction, and index, and also a bibliography. So in authority, So when we say the authority, a source of information, or mon ni sila ang katong author or the person who created that information. So mo ni siya ang question. Who is the author, publisher, source, or sponsor? So in evaluating sources, so dapat imo jud siyang tan-awon kung kinsay author, imo i-recognize kung kinsa ang nag-publish ana nga information. Number 2 is their contact information such as publisher or email address. So naamang gid na nakabutang diha kay makita man na nimo kung naigi-post nga mga information, makita diha ang iyang email address or iyang contact information. So does the URL reveal anything about the author or source? So when we say so saying about URL, it is the acronym to Uniform Resources Locator or the website address. Understanding the structure of URLs can give you a lot of information about the authorship and credibility of the website. So here are some examples of first level domain names. So com, which is commercial, gov, which is governmental, ent, which is international, edo means educational, mil means military, net means internet resource, org, which means non-profit. So next, how did you know if that information is reliability, truthfulness, and correct? So, or how did you know if that information is accuracy? So, here are some questions that guides you. So, where does the information come from? So, asa man na gikan? No? So, next is the information supported by evidence, which is katuhuan ba na siya na evidence. Last, has the information been reviewed? So, last, the purpose. So, the reason of the information exists. So, first, identify the type of information, fact, or opinion, and the intent of the author. So, makita man na siya ni mo, no, ang information. If kuan ra ba na siya kanang unsay intention sa author ngano iyahan ang ang share nga information. So second, what is the purpose of that information? Unsa may ang purpose? Is kuan ra ba siya kanang for commercial, entertainment, or else? So third, does it inform, persuade, sell, or entertain? So last, are the intentions of the author's sponsors clear? Klaro ba yung intention, no? Para sa iyang mga readers or mga kanang mga researchers or kanang amugamit sa iyang mga information. So that would be all about evaluating sources using the CRAP test. So now let's move on to the next topic. So what is referencing sources? So referencing sources means acknowledging the sources you have used. So recognized by referencing to authorities. So referencing is used to tell the readers where the ideas from the other sources have been used. So also referencing help you support your claims and ensure that you avoid plagiarism. So by referencing the information you use, maka-help siya no nga dili ka maka-plagiarize, which is imong i-reference dira ang author, ang name sa kuan, and then ang time ug ang kanang when was the information published. So why do we need to reference? So first, to avoid plagiarism. So mostly manggod ni siya mahitabo example sa mga students kanang mokuha arag mga information from the Google unya without kana wala bitaw gi-reference, wala gisulat kung asa gikan, like kanang wala gi-quote, wala gibutangan nga kanang kuan according to or kanang this gikan nga information. So to avoid plagiarism by giving credit to the original source of an idea. So to support your claim, to support your work with the authoritative work of another author. And to credit the author, to show the original source. So, mao na atong i-reference kay para makita kung kinsa gi original ana nga information. And then to demonstrate your knowledge and to lend credibility of your work. So what I talked about a while ago. So to help readers of your work to find the original source of information that you have. So when we see plagiarism is using words or ideas from not credited. Or when we say plagiarism, mato kong gingon ganina nga, it can include copying and pasting text from a website without referencing or without recognizing the author or the original of that information. So, in presenting someone else, mostly example sa plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own. Nga imuhang giangkon, nga imuhang nagikan. Kaya wa man imo batangi nga asa gikan, wa mo gi-credit with or without their consent by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. So there are types of plagiarism. So we have the direct plagiarism, self-plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, and accidental plagiarism. So when we say direct plagiarism, so it means is the word for word transcription of a section of someone else's work without attribution and without quotation mark, which is word by word or word for word transcription, which is imuha gid siya halos na lang tanan imuhang gi-copy without wala gid mo butang quotation o wala nimo gi reference ang the original of that source. So next we have the self-plagiarism from the word self. So imuha na siya na kanang work but it girios or recycling fraud ang tawag ani, which is this is the presentation of your own previously published work or original. So mo na siyang gitawag og self-plagiarism kay imuha na siyang on pero imo na siyang gi-publish before and then imo siyang gi-submit og balik. So like for example ani nga as a student, so ikaw ipapas ka og kanang like for example lesson plan, ipapas ka lesson plan sa usa ka teachers lahi nga subject like sa English and then about sa related topics sa imong major, and then naay other teacher na nag-ask og nga mo submit mo og kanang lesson plan related also sa kuan, and then maura to imong gi-submit same ra gyud sila. So mo na siya gitawag og self-plagiarism, which is imuha siyang gibalik og submit sa other teacher. Next we have the mosaic plagiarism. Mosaic plagiarism, also known as patch writing, are the borrowing the ideas and opinions from an original source and a few words without the crediting the original author. So kaning mosaic plagiarism, mura ra ni siya kanang nagkuha bitaw gamay nga kanang mga gamay nga phrases from other sources na kuan ba wala bitaw nimo na tarong og cite, wala nimo na without using the appropriate citation. So last is accidental plagiarism. So from the word accident, so it is not when someone does not give proper credit to an author for their ideas. So mostly commonly accidental plagiarism is commonly occurs due to lack of proper citation or among citations forgetting to quote, similar to combination of words given by the original. Okay. So next, so how do we reference? So referencing to avoid plagiarism. So it is important to know that in avoiding the plagiarism, so we need to keep a list of all the resources keep a list of all the sources that you use. So kung asa man ka nagkuha sa website or any site nga imong kuha, so dapat imuhang ibutang kanang kinsay author ana, no, publisher of that information. Next, information needed for your bibliography. So dito nimo ilista ang katong mga katong time, naman example sa next slide. So muna siya example sa reference list. So when you use book for your for getting the information, so first you wrote the author, date of publication, title of book, place of publication, and the publisher. So to avoid plagiarism. So example, Burns M 2013, kite making, Sydney in SW Random House. Number 2, if you use journal article for your sources, write the author or credit the author, date of publication, title of article, title of journal, volume, issue number, page numbers. Para dali ra siya hibawan sa mga readers kung asa na nimo gikuha nga information. Last is the website. So, author, if available, date of publication, title of article, retrieved from URL. Example, COSTUC 2015. So, next, how can you avoid plagiarism? So to avoid plagiarism, much better to use your own words. So, mas kuhan gid siya nga nang imuha na lang yung kagalingon imuhang gamiton. And then, if you kanang mag-research kag kanang mga information from other sources, so credit the original source. So, imo gid na siya or i-reference gid na nimo, ibutang gid na nimo ang kanang kisa gi-author kasi original ana. Katakong explain ganihang katong crop test magito important. So use quotation marks when using text from original sources. So kanang mga quotes, butangan gina siya mga quotation marks, no. Then paraphrase without just changing a few words or the other words. Last, double check your work to make sure everything is properly cited. So especially in research, kanang example research paper, kanang nga na mag-research mo ginano. So na gyud na nakabutang di according to, nga na di naka-quote na siya diha. So maybe that would be all about my discussion about the evaluating sources of information and referencing sources to avoid plagiarism.
I am Jamaica Lauron. I will be the one to report about environmental literacy. So these are the learning objectives. So at the end of the discussion, we will be able to understand society's influence on population growth, development, resource consumption growth, and much more. Second, study and assess environmental issues and make precise conclusions about beneficial solutions. And lastly, we take both independent and communal action towards tackling challenges such as participating in global endeavors and creating solutions that encourage action on environmental issues. Okay, so what is environmental literacy? When we say environmental literacy, it is an individual's understanding, skills, and motivation to make responsible decisions that considers his or her relationships to a natural systems, community, and future generations. So when we say environmentally literate, are those are able to examine real-world issues, can think critically about relationship between humans and natural systems, and also those are make informed decisions about the challenges affecting our world and our environments. Okay, so let's talk about how societies influence population growth on environment. Human population growth impacts the Earth system in a variety of ways. This includes, first, increasing the extraction of resources from the environment. These resources include fossil fuels like oil, gas, and coal, minerals, trees, water, and wildlife, especially in the oceans. So, the process of removing resources in turn often releases pollutants and waste quality that can harm our health and other species. Second is increasing the burning of fossil fuels to energy to generate electricity and to power transportation and industrial processes. Like pagsunog og mga fossil fuels to andar gani sa mga transportation like mga cars, motor, mo man ay gamit. Third is increase in freshwater use for drinking, agriculture, recreation, and industrial processes. So freshwater is extracted from lakes, rivers, the ground, and man-made reservoir. Fourth is increasing fishing and hunting, which reduces species population of the exploited species. Fishing and hunting can also indirectly increase numbers of species that are not fished or hunted if more resources become available for the species that remain in the ecosystem. And lastly, the transmission of diseases. Humans living in densely populated areas can rapidly spread diseases within and among populations. So additionally, because of transportation has become easier and more frequent, diseases can be spread quickly to new regions or around the world. Okay, next let's go to how natural resource use affects our environment. Consumption and production relies on the input of natural resources, which are extracted from the environment and often processed or manufactured to perform the products and services that we produce and consume. These include materials like metals and minerals that are used to create products. Ang paggamit sa mga metal o mga minerals para makahimo og mga produkto. Second is the farming that produces our food and drinks, and the clothes we wear depends significantly on natural resources, including land, soil, and water, as ecosystem services like pollination. Lastly, the products and services we produce and consume also depend on burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas to generate the energy that powers machinery, factories, processing plants, transportation, and these many products and services. So, una kong giingon ganina no nga mga pagsunog og mga fossil fuels to generate or to gain energy from the for the transportations, mga machines, and factories. Okay, so let's proceed to the environmental impacts. There are three planetary crises we are currently facing. We have climate change. When we say climate change, it is primarily caused by burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas to create the energy that powers economic activity. Ang pagsunog di ay sa mga gas to create energy is maka-cause na siya pag-usab-usab sa atong klima like kalitlag init, uwan, or unsa pa na diha. It is also caused by the extraction and production of certain materials which can release greenhouse gases as a result of chemical processes like making steel for buildings and infrastructure. Second is biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss is clearing the land and removing all the natural trees and vegetation. This destroys the biodiversity of the plant life on that land and also harms animals and insect life through the loss of their habitats. So the consequences of this biodiversity loss are dire and already damaging the life supporting systems of food, water, and air on which all living things on earth depend. And the third one is pollution. So the amount of pollution that is created as a result of unsustainable production and consumption is also causing great damage to the planet's life supporting systems of food, water, and air. So, and as a result of harming human health and the health of the planet. While rubbish in the form of packaging or disused product is a major issue that harms both life in the ocean as well as on land, pollution doesn't just happen at the end of the product or service's lifetime. Pollution takes places at every stage of the value chain of a product or service during the extraction of raw resources, the processing and manufacturing of goods, as well as distribution and consumption. Okay, so these three major environmental impacts are also deeply interconnected and affect one another. So, for example, pollution contributes to climate change, and biodiversity loss is exacerbated by both climate change and pollution. To discuss environmental issues and its solutions, I will give the floor to Miss Catherine Zapanta. Good day everyone, and this is Catherine G. Zapanta. So my topic is all about environmental issues and its solutions. So first, what is environmental issues? Environmental issues are the harmful effects of human activities on the environment. These include pollution, waste disposal, climate change, global warming, the greenhouse effect, etc. Various environment protections programs are being practiced at the individual. So, ang organizational and government levels with the aim of establishing a balance between man and the environment. Some of the current environmental issues that require urgent attentions are first is the climate change. So climate change refers to the change in the environmental conditions of the earth. This happens due to many internal and external factors. So the climate change is a great concern in today's scenario. So this problem has surfaced in the last few decades. So the greenhouse gases are the major cause of climate change. Kaya the environmental changes have several destructive impacts such as the melting of glaciers, change in seasons, and epidemia. The second is the global warming. The burning of fossil fuels, emissions from automobiles, and chlorofluorocarbons add to the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So, ang pagsunog sa fossil fuels emission gikan sa mga sakyanan o chlorofluorocarbons makadugang sab siya sa greenhouse gases sa atmosphere, and this has lead to an increase in the earth temperatures, so causing of environmental changes. So this increase in temperatures across the globe is known as global warming. Like for example, mo nang init kay ta diri sa Pilipinas, it's because nga daghang mga pabrika nga ginapatayo or pabuhat sa parte ng Pilipinas. Next is the water pollutions. Water pollutions, the introductions of harmful substances into rivers, oceans, lakes, and ponds, which changes the physical, chemical, air, or biological condition of the water is called water pollutions. So, water pollution means the pollutant or other waste or discharge into water body, and that water resources are not useful for any purpose. So human activities are the reason for water pollutions. For example, for water pollution is the plastic or other waste are directly thrown into the water resources. Another is chemicals or other toxic waste from industries are drained to the river, the lake, and these actions pollute the water. And household waste are the other reason for water pollution. Use of detergents are polluted the underground of water. And the water is main source of the life, and therefore it is our prime duty to prevent it from any kind of pollutions. So next is air pollutions. Air pollution is the result emissions from the industries, automobiles, and the increasing use of fossil fuel. So the gaseous emissions have added to an increase in the temperatures of the earth. So makadugang ang mga gases sa pagtaas sa temperature sa earth. Not only this, but it had also increased the risk of kanang disease among the individual. Next issues is the kaning deforestation. So deforestation is the deplementations of trees and forests at alarming rate. So like kaning pagputol sa mga kahoy sa kagubatan mo nang makakos of landslide. So dapat dili pang putlon or if dapat ipaputlon ang mga trees because the trees provide us with kanang oxygen and several raw materials and also maintain the kaning temperature of the earth. So due to the depletions of earth or of trees rather, for commercial purposes, there has been a drastic change in the earth climate. So forests are abode to a large number of wild animals and the plants. So destruction of forests has led to the kanang eliminations of a large number of plants and animal species affecting sa kaning biodiversity. So that's all the issues of environmental. So the environmental issues are a warning of the upcoming kanang disaster. So if these issues are not controlled, so there will soon be no life on Earth. So let's move on to the solution to environmental issues. So the first is use of renewable energies. So the first way to prevent climate change is to move away from fossil fuels. Renewable energies like solar, wind, biomass, and geothermal are better alternatives that kanang makahelp to reduce the global warming. So, is mugamit ta og kaning mga renewable energies para makakuanta sa solusyon sa environmental issues. Second is energies and water's efficiency. So producing clean energy is essential, but reducing our consumptions of energy and water by using more efficient devices like LED light bulbs and innovative shower system is less costly and equal important. So kanang using less energy to kanang perform the same task, that is eliminating energy waste. Energy efficiency brings a variety of kanang benefits, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, reducing demand for energy imports, and lowering our cost on an household and economy-wide level. And the third is sustainable transportation. So using efficient engines can help reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. So promoting public transportations and carpooling, but also electric and hydrogen mobility can definitely help reduce carbon dioxide emissions and those fight global warmings. Using efficient engines can help sa kanang carbon dioxide emissions. So the benefits of sustainable transportation is makakos sa saving on fuels and kaning vehicles. The fourth is sustainable infrastructures. So it is necessary both to build new low energy buildings and to renovate the existing constructions. So in order to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions from buildings caused by heating, air conditioning, hot water, or lighting, it is necessary both to build new low energy building and to renovate the existing constructions. And the fifth is sustainable agriculture, encouraging better use of natural resources, stopping massive deforestations, as well as making agriculture greener and more efficient should also be priority. So, dapat tunungan ang pagputol o mga kahoy if ever man maputol das dapat sa replisan or magtanom kag mga kahoy. Because planting trees is one of the best ways to combat the damaging effects of climate change. So, trees help clean the air we breathe. So, filter the water we drink and provide habitat. And the sixth, responsible consumptions and recycling. Recycling is an absolutely necessity for dealing with waste. So, adopting responsible consumption habits is crucial or important. Be it regarding food, particularly meat, clothing, cosmetic, or cleaning product. And last but not least, recycle is an absolutely necessary for dealing with. So it is important to reducing food loss and waste can contribute to environmental sustainability by lowering production costs and increasing the efficiency of food system. And for recycling is choose reasonable products. Use in eco bag for shopping and reusable water bottle or a cup to reduce your plastic waste. 7 is sustainable agriculture practice. So relating crops and planting cover crops help to keep soil healthy. Using fewer chemicals and integrating biological pest control and natural fertilizer can help as well. So rotating crops and planting cover crops help to keep soil healthy. So sustainable agriculture practices are intended to protect the environment, expand the earth natural resources base, and maintain and improve soil fertility. And the earth is reduce food waste. Keeping track of the food you have, planning meal and shopping trips ahead of time, and properly storing food can help reduce food waste at home. So as soon as you start throwing away fewer resources, particularly food, you're making stride to reduce your carbon footprint. Food composting is a great way to lessen how much wasted food we send to landfills or combustion sites. So we can build the habit of recycling our waste. Or you can start plan grocery less. So grocery shopping without a plan can be dangerous. So leading often to more spending the anticipated. So as you write down your weekly shopping list and focus on any staple ingredient you will for the week. So have you determined which dish you will be eating at the home this week, and do you know what kind of meals you may cook? So to avoid overspending of food, plan out your meals before venturing to the grocery store. And the last is planting of trees and growing paper leaves. Growing paper leaves is one of the solutions to managing the environmental problems of the assistant felling of trees. So there are many opportunities in your daily life to use less paper, from using more cloth towels and fewer paper towels to switching to an online only subscription to your favorite newspaper. So this would encourage less need to for cutting down trees.
Okay, so let's proceed to the UN Environment Program's contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals. So with the focus on sustainability and resilience, the UN Environment Program helps countries achieve the Sustainable Development Goals or the SDG through support to science-based policymaking, innovation, global advocacy, and partnership building. SDG 4 develops environmental curricula and green collar skill sets, supporting universities with on-campus advocacy and the green campus networks. When we say green collar, it is related to the protection of the natural environment. SDG 6 protecting and restoring freshwater ecosystems, supporting countries with monitoring and reporting. So these programs protects and restoring water. SDG 7, it is a program improving energy and efficiency and increasing the use of renewable in their countries and cities. SDG 8 is a program decoupling economic growth from resource depletion and environmental degradation. SDG 10, it is a program protecting human rights, including those environmental defenders, and ensuring the participatory, fair, and sustainable management of the world's natural resources. So, SDG 10 talks about protecting also their natural resources.
And let's proceed to Sustainable Development Goals number 11. Supporting the development of low emissions, resilient, resource efficient urban areas. So SDG or Sustainable Development Goal 11 aims to renew upland cities and other human settlements in a way that offers opportunity for all, with access to basic service, energy, housing, transportations, and green public spaces while reducing resources used the environmental impact. So through the SDG 11 is primarily focused on the government actions. The initiative led to community buy-in for individual citizens as well as community leaders. For example, individuals can take actions such as fixing up their local parks, creating rooftop gardens, or participating in community composting program to improve the quality of green spaces and create additional ones in a new spot. So people can make small steps in their own neighborhood to support sustainable cities on the world level. So next is the SDG 12, supporting the switch to resource efficient, non-pollutant productions and consumptions. Next is SDG 13 or Sustainable Development Goal number 13, spearheading nature-based adaptation, reducing climate and air pollutants, addressing deforestation and forest degradations, and supporting the move to low and zero emission economies. So the main goal of this is in order to reach a sustainable society, it is necessary to integrate climate change measures into national policies, strategies, and planning. Next is the supporting the move to sustainable blue economies and combating marine pollutions in all its form. So it aims to SDG 14 aim to protect and ensure the sustainable use of oceans. These include reductions of marine pollutions and the impacts of oceans acidification. So the ending of overfishing and the conservation of marine and coastal areas and ecosystem. And next is the Sustainable Development Goal number 15, protecting and restoring the world and ecosystem and promoting the sustainable use of natural resources. And the last is
is Sustainable Development Goal number 16, enabling countries and communities to develop and enforce effective law to combat environmental crimes. So, to develop, so the conclusions is among all the multiple literacy, informational and environmental literacy also plays pivotal roles in our society. Each of us should know how information can be ethically applied in all fields. Environmental literate students are able to examine real world issues, think critically about the relationship between humans and natural systems, and make informed decisions about the challenges affecting our world. So that would be all, guys, and thank you for listening.